Welcome back. Well, a startling new report on the Cuomo cover-up. Some of his top advisors pushed state health officials to underreport thousands of coronavirus nursing home deaths, according to the Wall Street Journal. The title on the piece is Cuomo Advisors Altered Report on COVID-19 nursing home deaths. The final report left out seniors who died in hospitals after becoming sick in nursing homes. Joining me right now is New York Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis. And Congresswoman, thanks very much for weighing in here. Does this new report change anything for Governor Cuomo? The Journal story says that his advisors actually altered the report and ensured that the overall health department showed the deaths only at nursing homes, not once they left the nursing homes, but they were sick from COVID, and that's why they died.
Yeah, the evidence is just piling up against Governor Cuomo, and basically this is just confirming what his chief of staff already admitted to in that closed-door meeting with state legislators, that there was a cover-up, and it was intentional to prevent information from getting to the Department of Justice. But as you know, the governor then made her walk back those comments, and he himself told the public that there was no cover-up. So this is showing that the governor has clearly lied to the people of New York State, to the families that lost loved ones, to the people of America. And I have to tell you, this is not good for him, considering that there is an ongoing FBI Department of Justice investigation. And Maria, one other thing. On April 30th, I wrote a letter to the governor asking how many positive patients were placed in the nursing homes and why they didn't use the alternative sites like the Javits Center and the U.S. Navy Comfort Ship that were set up to take specifically COVID positive patients, and they weren't being utilized properly. I still to this day have not received an answer to that letter, and now I know why.
So, but I don't understand that. Why wouldn't the governor use the U.S. Comfort Ship? Was this just politics? He didn't want to show that President Trump did a good thing by getting the ship there in New York so that that could contain the COVID patients?
Well,
I don't understand. Why send them to nursing homes? I still don't understand the underlying reason that the governor made this executive order on March 25th.
Yeah, well, and he made it the day after he said that your mother and my mother are not expendable. And then he went and put that order in that mandated positive patients go into these nursing homes, and also didn't give them the proper PPE to care for these individuals. He didn't provide them with testing to identify staff members or residents that were positive so they could be isolated. And unlike other states that forced them to be in a separate wing or separate floor if they were positive, he didn't care. He just said you have to take them whether you can really care for them or not. And that's really the crime here. And that is the million-dollar question, is why did he continue to do this even when there are alternatives? Originally, there weren't alternatives, and the hospitals were overflowing.
What?
He made that decision, which many of us disagreed with. But even a week later is when all the other facilities were available. There were 3 facilities, South Beach Psych on Staten Island, Comfort Ship, Javits Center, at least in my area, that I could say, and they were not used to capacity, which is the question that I have. So, why not?
With all of these investigations, you mentioned the DOJ and the FBI, what are the legal ramifications? Are we talking about obstruction of justice? What specific crime was committed here? Because we're talking about one issue, but the mainstream media is sort of muddying up the story by also putting this sexual harassment story side by side. I mean, the former aide to the governor, Charlotte Bennett, spoke out in a new interview about her sexual harassment allegations against Cuomo, and no woman should have to go through this. Here's what she said. Listen to this.
I thought, he's trying to sleep with me. The governor's trying to sleep with me. And I'm deeply uncomfortable, and I have to get out of this room as soon as possible. The fact is that he was sexually harassing me, and he has not apologized for sexually harassing me. And he can't even use my name.
I mean, this took incredible courage, as you know, to go on CBS and talk about this. How would you compare the sexual harassment allegations to the potential criminality we're talking about in terms of obstruction of justice?
Yeah, it's incredibly sad. I mean, here is a 25-year-old young staffer, someone who wants to contribute to her
Terrible.
state and her nation, 40 years younger than Governor Cuomo, and he is asking her if she has had sex with older men. Completely inappropriate. If this was the corporate sector, he'd be fired as a CEO. And let's also remember that this woman is a sexual assault survivor. So, that's even more troublesome. And so I think that, look, we'll let the investigators and the law enforcement and our prosecutors determine what crimes may or may not have been committed. But certainly there's something very wrong here. And the fact that the governor would not take responsibility the other day, I think really shows you who he is. I think he owes New Yorkers more than an apology. I've said it for over a month now that he should offer them a resignation simply because of everything that has occurred here, the stonewalling, the cover-up, the bullying of a colleague, now the sexual harassment claims, which are in addition to that, but he should have resigned prior to this.
All right, Congresswoman, we'll keep following this story. Thanks very much for weighing in this morning.